Hey guys, what is up? Lefty back here again, and thanks for checking out the video. So today we're going to be doing a fun little gear review. I know people like gear reviews, and I don't do a whole lot of them, even though they're my most popular video on my channel. So today we're going to be doing the HSP D3CRX, I believe, the chest rig from Haley Strategic, the X version, which has a couple of differences from the original. I'm not going to be going through all the specs because frankly I don't really care. You know, if you want to find out more about like what the material is and all this and that, you know, you can obviously find that information online. Basically, I'm going to be doing a quick little overview of the chest rig, kind of show it off a little bit, some things I like about it, and maybe just a couple things I'm not a big fan of, but yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so right off the gate, obviously, if you guys are familiar with HSP stuff, they got some really good, high-quality shit. Some expensive shit, but really good quality shit. This one is the X version, like I said. It has a couple of differences. Basically, the harness is in a X configuration, and also there is a couple of pouches differences, which is basically right here. On the original, they had a big kind of tension bungee pouch, which they call it the stuffed pouch. Personally, I think I might rather have something like that rather than just 4 pistol mag pouches. Obviously, you don't have to use pistol mags in there, like I have a flashlight and all this and that, but the idea that I'm going to carry more than just like a couple of pistol mags, if this thing was ever going to be used in a professional manner or, you know, shit hits the fan manner or anything like that, is kind of silly. You know, I'll be carrying probably 1 in the gun, 1 on the belt, and maybe 2 as a refill on the chest rig for the handgun. Obviously, I would much rather have the 4 rifle mags. Makes a little bit more sense to me personally. So anyway, do with that information what you will. Personally, I don't think you need this many pistol magazines, but luckily the pouches are fitted as such. They are bungee material, and they do have a little bit of a magnet system in here, so they can adapt and kind of hold whatever you kind of stuff into them. Flashlights, utility devices like multi-tools, like anything like that will basically fit in there. So I do like these for that purpose. Jumping over here into the 2 GP pouches, as you can see, it is a mirrored design, which I actually kind of do like. Because then right-handed and left-handed don't have to have any kind of issues, so we can all live together. But anyway, basically I just use these. These are both basically just huge little medical pouches at the moment because I have no reason to put basically anything else in here. On here, I know it's kind of hard to see. We got basically just some combat gauze, pressure bandage, and then on the inside, I think I would just have more gauze and another pressure bandage. So that's basically for plugging holes and all that stuff that I keep in here. Obviously, I do wear this more of like a fun kind of fun shooting or anything like that. So obviously, medical is a little bit more important. But also in the event that some type of civil unrest occurs, I would want medical readily available. Now, they do have other attachments for this chest rig, obviously, that you can have put on the back here, because the back panel does come off. It is Velcro, so you can have the little hanger thing, which I actually really like. Even though it looks a little ridiculous, I do like that. And I would basically probably make that a dedicated medical pouch and just use these for some miscellaneous things. So anyway, going back into the rifle mags here. As you can see, I have removed all of the bungee straps. I'm not a big fan of the straps. I like them, but again, I'm not really a big fan. They do sell, in which I do have installed, and all of these are the little Kydex inserts. And these are the specific Haley Strategic ones that are dedicated for this rig. They do work very well. You know, they hold them very, very well. They get a nice little click, and these things are not going to be falling out at all. So it's got a nice tension on them. I will say you do have to break them in. I believe he did a YouTube video talking about these Kydex inserts, and he said something to the effect of it has the right amount of tension, so you're not going to be pulling really hard and hit yourself in the face. Well, the first time I put these in, I actually did do that. I hit myself right in the fucking face. I have my my favorite mags at the moment, which are the Lancers, the see-through ones. I still love the Jeep, not the Jeep, what the hell am I talking about? The P mags from Magpul, obviously, but these are starting to kind of wear on me. Real quick about these, I would love to somebody make an aftermarket floor plate for these things so you can actually grip them a little bit easier. Like the obviously the Magpul has a little lip on them, so you know, if anybody's out there with something, you know, you do metal stuff or plastics or anything like that, make an aftermarket floor plate for these things. You do have a couple of MOLLE back here, so where the actual Kydex insert actually indexes on that. And this is kind of nice for, you know, a couple things. So when I'm out shooting, obviously I don't have these fully loaded with 4 mags. Usually what I like to do is throw a cell phone here, or maybe like a walkie-talkie in here, and then actually run the antenna through here, or the wire through here, which works pretty well. Because I really don't need this many magazines, but it's nice to have the availability. If I need to put more ammo, I can. Otherwise, I can just stuff whatever fits in those things. So, all right. So this chest rig is marketed as a universal chest rig, which it basically is. I will say though, once you add in the Kydex inserts, some of the magazines don't work the best in it, because as you can see, when the Kydex inserts are in there, they get a nice tight opening for the mag pouches there, which is awesome for M4 mags. And actually for 70 AK-74 mags, they fit in there pretty well. When you get an entire chest rig filled up with this, it does get a little tight, and it can, the actual locking tabs on the magazines do have a tendency of kind of catching on the sides of these when you're trying to put them in and put them out. Not a big deal, but I would say, here's a big 47. As you can see, the tab gets kind of caught in there, and you have to kind of wiggle it in. So it is a little bit tighter, a little bit more difficult to kind of put them in and put them out. Honestly, if I was doing it for a dedicated 47 rig, I would probably leave the bungee straps on. That way you have a little bit more slop and a little bit more play in the mag pouches, so they become a little bit more easier to get those mags in and out. But otherwise, it does what it says it needs to for the universal port. I haven't tried a whole lot of mags. They do make a heavy version for the 308s, you know, in your bigger rifles, but for your intermediate carbines, you're pretty much good to go with this rig. If you run AK-74, 47, or the AR-15 platform, you should be pretty good with that standpoint. So time frame, I bought this a little bit over a year ago when it was on sale during something, I don't remember. So I paid somewhere around 150. I know these things are around 170. Ish, a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on where you go. For that price point, I'd say it's pretty good. I mean, obviously, there's cheaper, there's more expensive variations. It basically all depends on what you want. If you want more of an adaptable platform type chest rig where you can kind of change shit in and out, that's not it. Basically, you get what you see here. You can put in anything you can fit, but you won't be able to change any of this out. So I guess that could be a negative, if you're looking into that kind of thing. I'm not going to fault the system for that because that's what it is advertised as. One thing, though, I would kind of like is on the side here, maybe throw like a single column of MOLLE. I do like to run tourniquets on the sides here. At least any chest rig, any gear I have, I always have a tourniquet on it. Any belt system I have where I'm actually going out and shooting like a war belt type setup or a duty belt setup, tourniquets on there. Obviously, they do have single rows right here, or excuse me, columns of MOLLE right here. I don't like doing that because that's where my rifle goes, so I'm not going to put anything bulky in that little area. So one thing I would like to see is just a column of MOLLE, but that's not a big deal. Obviously, you can find different spots for your tourniquets and stuff like that. And again, you know, you can have one of those hangers down here, which would solve that issue easily. So it is a very good chest rig. I mean, for what I paid for it, I'm happy with it. I'm pleased with it. I got no issues besides just the small things. But again, those are just small things. But anyway, I'm not going to give it a rating because that's silly. But I would recommend it. If you guys are looking for something like this, I would recommend it. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be good.